It's one of those moments where you toss your name into a hat, not expecting anything to come of it. But then, out of nowhere, he walks into her world. Not just a guy, but someone who flips her entire life upside down. Sounds like the start of a rom-com, right? But what if there's more to it? What if this chance encounter, this spark that lights up her quiet life, is hiding a secret so big it could unravel everything? Welcome to She Entered the Contest for Fun. He entered her life for real, and trust me, you're not just watching a story. You're stepping into a whirlwind of emotions, surprises, and questions that'll keep you glued to your screen. I'm talking to you. Yeah, the one wondering if you should click away or stay. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna get answers to questions you didn't even know you had. Why did she enter that contest? Who is this guy, and what does he want? And most importantly, what happens when a simple game turns into something way bigger than she ever imagined? Let's dive in, and I promise, you're gonna want to see this through to the very last second. Now, let me set the stage for you, because this isn't just any story. It's one that's gonna hit you right in the feels. Imagine you're in a cozy little town, the kind where everybody knows everybody, and the biggest drama is who's got the best pie at the county fair. That's where our girl, let's call her Ellie, comes in. She's in her mid-20s, with a smile that could light up a room and a heart that's been through just enough to make her a little cautious but still full of hope. Ellie's the kind of person you'd meet at a coffee shop, maybe chatting about her favorite book or laughing about some viral TikTok she saw last night. She's relatable, real, and just trying to figure out her place in the world. Life's been steady for her. Maybe a little too steady, so when she stumbles across this quirky online contest, she thinks, why not? It's not like she's expecting to win anything life-changing. Maybe it's a trip to somewhere cool, like a music festival in Nashville or a weekend getaway to Miami. The point is, she enters for fun, for that tiny thrill of what if. And you know that feeling, don't you? That moment when you take a chance on something, not because you think it'll change your life, but because it's a spark of excitement in your everyday routine. That's where Ellie's at, and that's why you're gonna root for her. But here's the thing. This contest isn't what it seems, and neither is the guy who shows up because of it. I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but let's just say this mystery man, let's call him Jake, has a way of making everything more complicated and a whole lot more interesting. You're curious now, aren't you? Good. Keep that curiosity, because I'm gonna make sure you get the answers you're craving by the end of this video. Let's talk about you for a second, because I know why you're here. You're scrolling through YouTube, maybe after a long day, looking for something that's gonna pull you out of your head and into a story that feels alive. You want drama, you want romance, you want that whoa, what just happened? Moment that makes you hit that like button and share this with your bestie. I get it, because I'm right there with you. I've spent hours binge-watching stories that make my heart race, stories that make me laugh, cry, or yell at the screen like, no way, why'd you do that? And that's exactly what I'm bringing you today. This isn't just a video. It's a roller coaster. Ellie's story is gonna make you feel like you're right there with her, making those choices, feeling that spark when Jake shows up, and wondering what's hiding behind his charming smile. I'm talking directly to you, because I want you to feel like we're in this together. You're not just watching Ellie's life unfold. You're invested. You're gonna care about her dreams, her fears, and that one decision that changes everything. And here's my promise to you. If you stick with me through this video, you're gonna walk away with answers that'll blow your mind. You'll find out what this contest was really about, why Jake showed up when he did, and how one seemingly small choice can turn into a life-altering adventure. So grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's keep going, because Ellie's story is just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's paint the picture a little more, because the vibe of this story is everything. Think of a crisp fall evening, leaves crunching underfoot, fairy lights strung up at a local festival, and that electric buzz in the air when something big is about to happen. That's the world Ellie's living in when this all begins. She's not looking for love, not chasing some big Hollywood moment. She's just being herself, scrolling on her phone, maybe sipping a pumpkin spice latte, because, come on, it's fall, and we're all a little basic sometimes. The contest she enters is one of those trendy online challenges that's blowing up on social media. Think hashtag viral vibes or hashtag dream big challenge, the kind of thing you see trending on YouTube or TikTok. It's fun, it's low stakes, and it's got that addictive pull that makes you want to join in. Ellie's not thinking about fame or fortune. She's just curious, maybe even a little bored. But when she gets that confirmation email saying she's in, something shifts. It's like the universe is nudging her towards something bigger. And then there's Jake. Oh, Jake. He's not just some random guy who shows up out of nowhere. He's got this effortless charm, a laugh that makes you want to laugh too, and eyes that seem to know more than he's letting on. When he walks into Ellie's life, it's not with a grand gesture or a cheesy pickup line. It's subtle, almost accidental, like they were always meant to cross paths. But here's where it gets juicy. Jake knows something about the contest that Ellie doesn't. And that little secret? It's the key to everything. You're probably wondering, what's the deal with this guy? Is he a hero, a heartbreaker, or something else entirely? I'm not going to tell you yet, but I will tell you this. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly who Jake is and why his arrival changes everything for Ellie. You're not just watching for fun. You're watching to uncover the truth. Let's get real for a moment, because I want you to feel why this story matters. You've taken chances before, right? Maybe you entered a giveaway, applied for a dream job, or even just swiped right on someone who caught your eye. Those moments, where you step out of your comfort zone, they're scary but exciting. That's what Ellie's feeling when she clicks submit on that contest form. She's not expecting her life to change, but she's open to the possibility. And when Jake shows up, it's like the universe is saying, all right, you took the leap. Now let's see what you do with it. That's the heart of this story. What happens when you say yes to something new, something unknown? It's about taking risks, finding connection, and discovering parts of yourself you didn't even know were there. Ellie's journey is going to resonate with you, whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, or beyond. Because we've all had moments where life throws us a curveball and we have to decide. Play it safe or go all in. And Jake? He's the curveball. He's got this magnetic energy that draws Ellie in, but there's something about him that makes her wonder if she can trust him. Is he here to help her win the contest, or is he playing a game of his own? You're gonna want to keep watching, because every twist, every clue, every heart-pounding moment is leading to an answer that'll make you say, no way, I didn't see that coming. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm inviting you to live it with Ellie, to feel her excitement, her doubts, and that spark of something new. So don't you dare click away, because we're just getting to the good part. Alright, let's crank up the intrigue, because this is where things start to get wild. Ellie's in deep now. The contest is heating up, and Jake's presence is making everything more intense. The contest isn't just about winning a prize anymore. It's starting to feel like a puzzle, like there's something bigger at play. Ellie's getting messages, cryptic little hints that make her question what she's gotten herself into. And Jake? He's always there, just close enough to make her heart race, but far enough to keep her guessing. He's got this way of looking at her, like he sees right through her, and it's both thrilling and unnerving. You know that feeling when you meet someone who makes your stomach do flips, but you're not sure if it's butterflies or a warning. That's where Ellie's at. She's trying to figure out if Jake's her ally, her rival, or something she can't even name yet. And here's where I'm gonna hook you even deeper. There's a moment coming up, a single choice Ellie makes, that changes everything. It's not just about the contest anymore. It's about her heart, her future, and a truth that's been hiding in plain sight. You're probably thinking, okay, but what's the truth? What's the big reveal? I'm not gonna spoil it here, but I'm promising you this. If you stay with me, if you watch this video all the way to the end, you're gonna get the answer that ties it all together. You'll know why Ellie entered that contest, why Jake showed up, and what they're both risking to get what they want. But right now, at this very moment, Ellie's standing at a crossroads, and Jake's holding out his hand, asking her to trust him. Will she take it? And if she does, what's waiting for her on the other side? You're gonna have to keep watching to find out, because the next part of this story is gonna leave you speechless. Right where we left off, Ellie's standing at this crossroads, her heart pounding as Jake holds out his hand, his eyes locked on hers with an intensity that makes the air feel electric. She's not sure if she's about to step into something magical or something dangerous, but the pull is undeniable. This small-town girl, who just wanted a little spark of excitement by entering that viral online contest, is now caught in a moment that feels like it could change her life forever. The contest, which started as a fun, trending challenge, think #LifeChanger vibes or #DreamBigMoment, was supposed to be a simple game, maybe a chance to win a trip or some cool prize that'd give her something to post about on Instagram. But now, with Jake standing there, his half-smile hinting at secrets she can't quite grasp, Ellie's starting to realize this is no ordinary contest. There's something bigger going on, something that's got her scrolling through cryptic emails from the contest organizers late at night, her phone glowing in the dark as she tries to piece together what's really at stake. You're probably feeling that same curiosity, aren't you? That itch to know what's hiding behind the curtain, what Jake knows that Ellie doesn't, and why this moment feels so much bigger than a random chance encounter. I'm talking to you, the one leaning into your screen, wondering if you should keep watching. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around, because Ellie's story is about to get even wilder, with twists and turns that'll keep you hooked. Let's dive deeper into her world, peel back the layers, and meet the people and secrets that are making this adventure unlike anything she expected. Ellie's life before this contest was pretty predictable, the kind of routine you'd recognize if you've ever felt stuck in a loop. She works at a local bookstore in her small town, the kind of place with creaky wooden floors and a coffee corner where locals swap gossip over lattes. She loves her job, flipping through novels, recommending her favorite romance books to customers, and sneaking a few pages during slow shifts. But there's always been this quiet ache inside her, a feeling that she's meant for something more. Maybe you know that feeling, that restless tug when you're scrolling through YouTube or TikTok, watching people live out their big dreams, wondering when it's going to be your turn. That's Ellie, and when she saw that contest pop up on her feed, it felt like a sign. The contest was everywhere. #viral challenge was trending like crazy, with influencers hyping it up as the ultimate chance to change your life. Ellie didn't think she'd win, but she entered anyway, typing her name into the form while sipping her morning coffee, her cat curled up next to her. It was a whim, a moment of why not, that she didn't expect to go anywhere. But then the confirmation email came, followed by a weirdly vague follow-up message with a QR code and a single line, "Your journey starts now." That's when things started feeling off. The messages kept coming, each one a little stranger, hinting at exclusive events and opportunities that didn't sound like the usual contest prizes. And then Jake showed up, right after she scanned that QR code at a local festival, like he'd been waiting for her to make that move. He's charming, sure, but there's something about the way he talks about the contest, like he's been part of it before, that makes Ellie's stomach twist. You're probably wondering, just like she is, what Jake's deal is. Is he a player in this game, or is he playing her? That's the question that's going to keep you watching, because every step Ellie takes pulls her deeper into a mystery that's bigger than she ever imagined. Now let's shift gears for a second and talk about Jake, because this guy is a walking enigma. He's not from Ellie's town, that much is clear. He's got this city vibe, like he's used to moving fast and keeping secrets. When he first bumped into Ellie at the festival, it was one of those meet cuties you'd see in a Netflix rom-com. She was grabbing a caramel apple, he made a cheesy joke about the Ferris wheel, and suddenly they were talking like they'd known each other forever. But there's something about Jake that doesn't add up. He's too smooth, too quick to steer the conversation away when Ellie asks about his past. He says he's in town for work, but he's vague about what that means, and his phone keeps buzzing with notifications he ignores. Ellie's not naive, she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she's picking up on the red flags. But there's also this spark between them, this undeniable chemistry that makes her want to trust him, even when her gut's telling her to slow down. You know that feeling, right? When you meet someone who makes your heart race, but there's a little voice in your head saying, "Hold up, what's really going on here?" That's where Ellie's at, and it's not just about Jake. There's a subplot brewing with her best friend Mia, who's been acting strange ever since Ellie told her about the contest. Mia's the kind of friend who's always got your back. Think late-night Taco Bell runs and texting memes at 2 a.m., but lately she's been distant. Almost like she's hiding something too. Did Mia know about the contest before Ellie entered? And why does she keep changing the subject whenever Jake's name comes up? You're starting to see the layers here, aren't you? This isn't just Ellie and Jake's story. It's a web of secrets, and every thread you pull unravels something new. Let's add another layer to this, because the contest itself is starting to feel like more than just a viral trend. Ellie's been digging, and what she's finding doesn't sit right. The contest website is slick, almost too slick, with polished graphics and countdown timers that feel more like a high-stakes game show than a random giveaway. She's noticed that the organizers, some company called Destiny Dynamics, don't have much of an online footprint. No LinkedIn profiles, no customer reviews, just a flashy site and a social media presence that's blowing up with #DreamBigChallenge posts. Ellie's not a detective, but she's curious, and she's been screenshotting the weird messages she's getting, like one that said, "The prize is closer than you think." What does that even mean? Is it a car, a trip, or something else entirely? And why does Jake seem to know more about Destiny Dynamics than he's letting on? There's a moment where Ellie catches him glancing at one of her contest emails, his expression unreadable, and it sends a chill down her spine. You're probably feeling that same chill, that mix of excitement and unease, because you know something's coming. This contest is starting to feel like a game within a game, and Ellie's not sure if she's a player or a pawn. Add to that the whispers around town. Rumors about other people who entered similar contests and had their lives turned upside down. There's an older guy at the bookstore, Mr. Thompson, who's been dropping cryptic hints about knowing people who got in too deep. Ellie's not sure if he's just being dramatic or if he's onto something, but it's enough to make her wonder what she's really signed up for. You're invested now, right? You're wondering what's at stake, what Jake's hiding, and whether Ellie's about to win big or lose everything. Here's where things get even juicier, because there's another perspective we need to consider. Mia's. Ellie's best friend isn't just acting weird. She's got her own story unfolding in the background, and it's adding a whole new layer of intrigue. Mia's always been the bold one, the one who'd drag Ellie to karaoke nights or convince her to try some viral TikTok dance challenge. But ever since Ellie mentioned the contest, Mia's been off. She's dodging questions, spending hours on her phone, and even snapped at Ellie when she asked what was wrong. What Ellie doesn't know, and what you're gonna start piecing together, is that Mia might have her own connection to Destiny dynamics. There's a flashback moment where Mia's scrolling through her phone, pausing on a post from the contest's official account, her face pale. Did she enter too? Or is there something else going on, something that ties her to Jake or the mysterious company behind the contest? You're probably starting to suspect everyone now, and that's exactly how Ellie's feeling. The tension's building, and every conversation, every glance, feels loaded with meaning. There's a scene where Ellie and Mia are grabbing coffee, and Mia lets slip a comment about knowing someone who won big last year. Ellie presses her for details, but Mia clams up, leaving Ellie, and you, wondering what she's not saying. This subplot with Mia is like a shadow running alongside Ellie's story, and it's gonna make you question who you can trust. Is Mia jealous, involved, or just caught up in her own drama? You'll find out, but not yet, because I'm keeping you on the edge of your seat, just like Ellie's on the edge of hers. As the plot thickens, Ellie's starting to feel the weight of it all. She's still drawn to Jake, still caught up in the thrill of the contest, but the stakes are getting higher. She's getting messages now that feel almost personal, like someone's watching her. One night she finds a note slipped under her door, a handwritten scribble that says, "You're closer than you think." No signature, no explanation, just those words staring up at her from the page. Her first thought is Jake, but when she texts him about it, he's oddly casual, like it's no big deal. That's when her mind starts racing. Is Jake playing her? Is the contest a scam, a setup, or something even stranger? And what about Mia's weird behavior, or Mr. Thompson's vague warnings? Ellie's not sure who to trust anymore, but she's not ready to walk away either. There's something about this contest, about Jake, that's got her hooked. Not just for the prize, but for the truth. You're feeling that pull too, aren't you? That need to know what's really going on, to see if Ellie's gonna take Jake's hand and step into the unknown, or if she's gonna pull back before it's too late. The tension's at a boiling point now, and Ellie's about to make a choice that'll send her deeper into this mystery. She's standing in her bookstore, the note in her hand, Jake's text lighting up her phone, and a new contest email with a single word, decide. What does it mean? What's she risking? And what happens if she says yes? You're gonna have to keep watching, because the next twist is gonna flip everything you thought you knew upside down. Ellie's standing in the dimly lit bookstore, the mysterious note crumpled in her hand, her phone glowing with Jake's text and that cryptic contest email staring back at her with just one word, decide. Her heart's racing, and you can probably feel that same pulse-pounding anticipation, like you're right there with her, wondering what she's going to do next. The air feels thick with possibility, like the moment before a storm breaks, and Ellie's caught between her curiosity and a growing sense of unease. This #viral challenge, this contest that started as a fun whim, has morphed into something far bigger, something that's pulling her into a web of secrets she can't quite untangle. Jake's text is casual, almost too casual. Hey, you okay? Wanna grab coffee and talk? But it's not enough to shake the feeling that he knows more than he's letting on. And that note, slipped under her door like some kind of old-school spy movie, has her mind spinning. Who left it? Was it Jake, the contest organizers, or someone else entirely? You're probably itching to know, just like Ellie is, and I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna want to look away. This is where things take a turn you won't see coming, where the stakes skyrocket and a twist flips Ellie's world upside down. Stick with me because this story's about to get wilder, and every step Ellie takes is pulling her, and you, closer to a truth that's bigger, darker, and more thrilling than anything she could have imagined. Let's dive into what happens next, because Ellie's not the kind of person to just sit back and let questions pile up. She's curious, maybe a little stubborn, and that note in her hand is like a challenge she can't ignore. She decides to confront Jake, texting him to meet her at the town's old diner, the kind of place with neon signs and milkshakes that taste like nostalgia. When she gets there, Jake's already waiting, leaning back in a booth with that easy smile that makes her heart skip but also sets her on edge. The diner's buzzing with the usual Saturday night crowd. Locals laughing, a jukebox playing some trending pop hit that's all over YouTube. But to Ellie, it feels like the world narrows to just her and Jake. She slides into the booth, the note burning a hole in her pocket, and she doesn't waste time. "What do you know about the contest?" she asks, her voice steady despite the nerves. Jake's smile falters, just for a second, and that's when she notices something. A flicker in his eyes, like he's weighing what to say. He leans forward, lowering his voice and says, "Ellie, this isn't just a contest. It's a test. A test. Your mind's probably racing as much as Ellie's is right now. A test for what? Money, fame, or something way more personal?" Jake's words hang in the air, but before he can explain, the diner door swings open, and in walks Mia, Ellie's best friend, with a look on her face that's equal parts guilt and panic. And here's where things get juicy. Mia's holding an envelope, identical to the one Ellie got from the contest, and it's addressed to her. "You're feeling that shock, aren't you? The same one that hits Ellie like a freight train. Mia's involved in this too? Since when? And why didn't she say anything?" This is the twist that changes everything. And it's only the beginning of the chaos that's about to unfold. Now let's pull back and dig into this bombshell, because Mia's involvement isn't just a side note, it's a game changer. Ellie's staring at her best friend, the person she's shared every secret with since they were kids sneaking candy at sleepovers, and she feels like she's seeing a stranger. Mia's eyes dart to Jake, then back to Ellie, and there's a moment where nobody speaks, like they're all waiting for someone else to break the silence. The diner's noise fades into the background, and you can almost hear Ellie's thoughts racing. Did Mia enter the contest too? Is she working with Jake? What's in that envelope? Mia stammers, trying to explain, but her words are a jumble. "I didn't know how to tell you, it just happened, I got pulled in." And it's not enough to calm the storm brewing in Ellie's chest. Jake, meanwhile, is watching them both, his expression unreadable, and that's when Ellie notices something else. A tattoo on his wrist, half hidden by his jacket, that matches a symbol she saw in one of the contest emails. It's small, just a swirl with a star, but it's enough to make her stomach drop. You're probably screaming at the screen right now like, "Ellie, get out of there." But she's in too deep, and so are you. This isn't just about a contest anymore. It's about trust, betrayal, and a mystery that's tying these three people together in ways Ellie never could have predicted. Mia finally sits down, her hands shaking as she slides the envelope across the table. "Open it," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Ellie hesitates, her fingers hovering over the seal, because whatever's inside feels like it's going to change everything. You're on the edge of your seat, right? Wondering what's in that envelope and how it's going to blow this story wide open. Let's zoom out for a second to the bigger picture, because the contest itself is starting to unravel in ways that make Ellie question everything. Those cryptic emails from Destiny Dynamics have been piling up, each one more unsettling than the last. One mentioned a final stage that would reveal her true path, whatever that means, and another had a link to a private live stream that only worked once before the page vanished. Ellie's been digging online, searching #DreamBigChallenge and #ViralVibes on YouTube and X, but the deeper she goes, the less she finds. It's like Destiny Dynamics is a ghost. No real headquarters, no employee names, just a slick website and a growing number of posts from people claiming they won something life-changing but never saying what. There's even a subreddit where users swap theories, some saying it's a marketing stunt, others whispering about something more sinister, like a social experiment or a scam. Ellie's not sure what to believe, but the note, Jake's tattoo, and now Mia's envelope are all pointing to something bigger than a simple contest. And then there's Mr. Thompson, the old guy from the bookstore, who's been dropping more hints lately. He cornered Ellie after her shift, his voice low, and said, "I knew someone who entered a contest like this years ago. She thought it was her big break, but it broke her instead." His words had been looping in Ellie's head, and now with Mia and Jake sitting across from her, She's starting to wonder if she's in over her head. You're feeling that tension too, aren't you? That mix of excitement and dread, knowing Ellie's about to open that envelope and uncover something that could either set her free or trap her deeper in this game. The subplots are twisting tighter now, and Mia's not the only one with secrets. There's a new layer emerging with Jake, and it's adding fuel to the fire. Ellie's noticed he's always got an excuse for why he's in town. First it was work, then it was visiting family, but he never gives details, and his phone's always buzzing with calls he doesn't answer. There's a moment in the diner where Ellie catches him glancing at a text, his jaw tightening before he slips the phone back in his pocket. Is he working for Destiny Dynamics? Is he a winner from a previous contest, or something else entirely? And then there's the tattoo, that symbol that's now burned into Ellie's memory. She's seen it before, not just in the contest emails but somewhere else. Maybe a fleeting glimpse on a poster at the festival or a logo on a random social media ad. It's like the pieces of a puzzle are scattered around her, but she can't quite make them fit. Meanwhile, Mia's subplot is deepening too. She's not just involved in the contest, she's scared. When Ellie presses her about the envelope, Mia admits she got her own set of cryptic messages, ones that mentioned Ellie by name. They told me to keep you close, Mia says, her voice cracking. They said you're the key. The key to what? Ellie's head is spinning, and so is yours, because this is the kind of twist that makes you lean closer to the screen, desperate for answers. The diner feels like a pressure cooker now, with Ellie, Jake, and Mia all caught in this moment, each holding pieces of a truth none of them fully understand. Here's where the stakes go through the roof, because as Ellie reaches for the envelope, ready to tear it open, the diner's lights flicker. It's quick, just a second, but it's enough to make everyone freeze. The jukebox skips, the crowd goes quiet, and then from the corner of the diner, a stranger stands up. He's been there the whole time, unnoticed, just another guy sipping coffee at the counter. But now he's looking right at Ellie, his eyes sharp, and he's holding a phone with the same symbol from Jake's tattoo glowing on the screen. You're running out of time, he says, his voice calm but cutting through the noise like a knife. Ellie's breath catches, Jake tenses, and Mia lets out a small gasp. The stranger doesn't move closer, but his presence changes everything. Who is he? Another player, a messenger, or something worse? The envelope's still in Ellie's hand, unopened, and now she's not sure if opening it will give her answers or pull her deeper into a trap. You're probably yelling at her to run, to open it, to do something, because the tension's unbearable. This is the moment where everything's hanging in the balance, where Ellie's choice, whatever it is, will push her closer to the truth or further into danger. The contest, Jake, Mia, the stranger, that symbol, they're all connected, and Ellie's right at the center. What's in the envelope? What does the stranger want? And what happens if Ellie makes the wrong move? You're gonna have to keep watching, because this story's racing toward a climax that'll leave you speechless, and the next twist is just around the corner. The diner's lights flicker back to normal, but the air feels heavier now, like the whole room is holding its breath. Ellie's clutching the unopened envelope, her eyes darting between Jake, Mia, and the stranger who just dropped that chilling warning. You're running out of time. His phone, glowing with that same swirling star symbol she saw on Jake's tattoo, is still in his hand, and the weight of his stare makes her skin prickle. You're probably feeling that same rush of adrenaline, right? That moment when you're so deep into a story, #viral challenge, #life changer vibes, that you can't look away, desperate to know how it all comes together. Ellie's heart is pounding, and she knows whatever's in this envelope is the key to unraveling the mystery that's taken over her life. Jake's leaning forward now, his voice low and urgent, telling her to open it, while Mia's gripping the edge of the table, her face pale, like she's terrified of what's coming. The stranger doesn't move, just watches, and Ellie realizes this is it, the moment she's been chasing since she entered that contest for fun. You're right there with her, aren't you? Wondering what's in that envelope, what Jake and Mia are hiding, and who this stranger is. I'm talking to you, the one glued to your screen, because this is where everything comes together. The climax of Ellie's story, the answers you've been waiting for, and a final twist that'll leave you speechless. Let's dive in, because this #dreambig moment is about to blow your mind. Ellie's fingers tremble as she tears open the envelope, the sound of ripping paper impossibly loud in the tense quiet of the diner. Inside is a single sheet, printed with a QR code and a sentence. Scan to claim your prize, but choose wisely, there's no going back. Her phone's in her hand before she can second-guess herself, and when she scans the code, her screen lights up with a live stream. Grainy at first, But then it sharpens into a face she doesn't recognize, a woman in her 40s with sharp eyes and a calm smile. "Congratulations, Ellie," the woman says, her voice smooth but commanding. "You've reached the final stage of the Destiny Dynamics Challenge." Ellie's breath catches, and you're probably feeling that same jolt, that mix of excitement and dread as the pieces start to fall into place. The woman explains that the contest isn't about a trip or a cash prize. It's a social experiment, a test of intuition, trust, and courage, designed to find people who can make bold choices under pressure. Destiny Dynamics, it turns out, isn't some shady scam. It's a secretive organization that scouts talent for high-stakes roles. Think crisis negotiators, undercover operatives, or leaders in fields that require split-second decisions. Ellie's been watched, tested, and pushed to see if she has what it takes. Jake, the woman reveals, is one of their recruiters, sent to guide her through the process. His tattoo, that swirling star, is their insignia. Ellie's head spins as she looks at Jake, who nods, his expression a mix of guilt and hope. "I wanted to tell you," he says, "but you had to make it this far on your own." You're probably reeling just like Ellie is. Jake's not a player or a heartbreaker, but part of the game all along. And Mia? She's not just involved, she was recruited last year, which is why she's been acting so strange. She was tasked with keeping Ellie close, ensuring she didn't back out. The betrayal stings, but there's no time to process it, because the woman on the live stream is still talking, and what she says next changes everything. The climax hits like a thunderclap. The woman tells Ellie she's passed the test. Her curiosity, her courage, her ability to question everything have marked her as a candidate for a role most people never even know exists. But there's a catch. To claim her prize, she has to make a choice right now. Join Destiny Dynamics, leave her small-town life behind, and step into a world of high-stakes missions and secrets she can never share. Not even with her family or Mia. Or walk away, go back to her bookstore job, and forget this ever happened, with a generous cash prize to ease the sting. The live stream timer starts counting down. 5 minutes to decide. Ellie's frozen, her mind racing. You're probably shouting at the screen, right? Torn between wanting her to chase this wild new life and knowing what it'll cost her. Jake's watching her, his eyes soft but intense, like he's rooting for her to say yes, and maybe not just for the mission. Mia's pleading now, tears in her eyes, admitting she joined last year and it changed her life, but it also cost her friendships, her old self. "It's worth it, Ellie, but it's hard," she says. The stranger at the counter is still there, his presence a quiet threat, and Ellie realizes he's not just a messenger. He's there to make sure she follows through, one way or another. The diner feels like it's closing in, the jukebox now playing some haunting cover of a trending song, and Ellie's got 4 minutes left to decide her future. You're feeling that pressure too, aren't you? That moment when you're faced with a choice that could redefine everything. Hashtag life-changing decisions, hashtag make your move. Ellie's whole world is on the line, and what she does next will tie up every thread of this wild ride. With 3 minutes left, Ellie's heart is a drumbeat in her chest. She thinks about her life, the bookstore, her cat, the quiet evenings scrolling through YouTube, dreaming of something bigger. She thinks about Jake, the way he makes her feel alive, even if he's been keeping secrets. She thinks about Mia, her best friend who's been pulled into this world and came out different, maybe stronger, but also haunted. And then there's Mr. Thompson's warning, echoing in her mind. It broke her. Ellie takes a deep breath and makes her choice. She looks at the stranger, then at Jake, and says, "I'm in." The words feel like they're not just hers, like they're carrying the weight of every risk she's ever taken. The stranger nods, his face unreadable, and the live stream woman smiles. "Welcome to Destiny Dynamics, Ellie. Your training starts tomorrow." The screen goes dark, and just like that, the diner feels normal again. The crowd's chatting, the jukebox hums, and Mia's hugging her, whispering apologies and congratulations. Jake's smile is real now, no more secrets, and he promises to be there through her training. The main conflict resolves in a rush of relief and excitement. The contest was real, Jake's intentions were true, and Mia's secrecy was her trying to protect Ellie while following orders. The subplots tie up too. Mia's distance was her struggling with the weight of her own choice to join, and Mr. Thompson's cryptic warnings came from knowing someone who couldn't handle the pressure of Destiny Dynamics years ago. You're probably cheering for Ellie, right? Feeling that rush of a story coming together. All the hashtag viral vibes and hashtag dream big challenge questions answered. But hold on, because there's one last twist, and it's a big one. Just as Ellie's about to leave the diner, ready to step into this new life, the stranger stops her. He leans in close, his voice a whisper only she can hear. "There's one more thing you need to know. The person who recruited me? They're still out there, and they're watching you." He slips a folded note into her hand and walks out, disappearing into the night before she can ask anything. Ellie unfolds the note, and it's just a single line: "The real test never ends." Her breath catches, and she looks at Jake and Mia, who are oblivious, laughing about something in the booth. You're probably as stunned as she is, your mind racing with new questions. Who's watching her? Is destiny dynamics more than it seems? And what does this mean for Ellie's future? The story wraps up with her standing outside the diner, the neon lights casting shadows on her face, the note in her hand, and a fire in her eyes. She's chosen her path, but this final twist makes it clear. Her journey's just beginning. You're left with a mix of awe and curiosity, aren't you? That's what makes this story stick with you. #epic twist. #life changed. Ellie's not just a small-town girl anymore. She's a player in a game bigger than she ever imagined, and her courage to say yes is a reminder to all of us to take those scary, thrilling leaps. So, what's the takeaway? Sometimes, the biggest risks, entering a contest, trusting a stranger, chasing a dream, lead to the greatest rewards, but they also come with questions that keep you up at night. Hit that like button, share this with your friends, and let me know in the comments. Would you have said yes? Keep watching for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat, because this is just the start.